hello to all audience of Metal Zone Radio Show. That's the name of the show. We are at the BARBEUK Metal Festival, second edition this year at CHAMPTOCEAUX in France, and we've got the huge pleasure to be with a band coming from New York, USA, Holy Mother. You see the flag just behind. So thanks a lot for taking time to answer some questions for our radio. So, as I say, you come directly from New York, USA to play at the second edition of the BARBEUK Metal Fest. And the show is your second in France, I think so. Yeah. So what is your first impression?
First impression is I love it. What else can I say? It's a great festival, great people. Got to see you as well, and Stefan as well. It's great to be here with some other great bands like Burning Witches.
Yeah.
It's it's great. They set this up nice. I know it's only the second year, but we're excited to be here, and that's it. We're getting ready to play, man.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
We're waiting for so many years.
Oh yeah. I've seen you at Wacken.
Yeah, we see at Wacken Open Area many years ago. So for the people who are not familiar with the Holy Mother, can you do a brief history of the genesis of the band?
Sure. Well, the band started in 1994. Put out the first album in, I think it came out in 95, I believe. It was more of a hard rock record. Then we needed to pick it up, so we came out with Toxic Rain in 98, and we did real well with that. And we took an 18-year hiatus, but back to Toxic Rain. Next album was Criminal Afterlife.
Yeah.
And like I said, we took an 18-year hiatus. You're not even. Don't worry about it. Agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia.
Right. And then after 2002, we took 18-year hiatus, and then we decided to come back. And with the first album was the Faces Burn album, and then this new album, Rise. It just came out in June.
Yeah.
We're excited about it. We did a couple of videos. The first video was for the song Fire. And then we did Jeremiah and The Elevator.
Yeah.
And we're here to, obviously promote and kick some ass. So now we're up to date. We have some new members in the band. We got Mickey Licks. Hi.
What does he do, Mark?
He's a magician. We got Steven on the drums.
Hello.
Guitar player, Mickey Licks, I should say. Wayne Banks, bass. He's my good friend. We played in many other bands together. He's from Nottingham, but we're all from Long Island, New York.
It wasn't such a long journey for me.
No. So we're excited, and we're gonna kick some ass tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So very happy to have you on this bill for this year. So yeah, you were talking about the hiatus you've got with the band after your fifth album, Agoraphobia. You stopped your musical activities for about 13 years, I think, until the return in 2020. What were the reason for this?
Well,
I could answer that if you want, because we're
in another band besides Kiss.
we were in Messiah's Kiss together, and and we were writing for Messiah's Kiss, and we ended up with too much material, really, and then a lot of it was more your style, wasn't it, Mark? It was slightly different to Messiah's Kiss,
right.
And so he just decided to just release it under Holy Mother again, wasn't it? Because I think the record company were like, well, why don't you...
Later on, you mean Rising 5?
Yeah, we started off with, it was called Rising 5. It was like a little separate project that we was doing, and my brother was involved in that. He was also in Messiah's Kiss. Okay. So there was just too much stuff, but then when it came to release it, it was really good. I thought it was really good. And then the record company were advising you, well, actually, why don't you put this out under Holy Mother and start that again?
My wife, Janet, actually, she's like, why don't you put out, Holy Mother? A lot of people always asking, what's going on? So, Massacre was very into it. They thought it was a great idea, which it was. Turned out to be great. And
we're on that level with Messiah.
Right, we're on this Massacre. Okay. So, but pretty much up to date. But in between all those years, we're all in different projects and stuff like that. I do, I'm in wedding band and cover bands, and we're always busy recording, right? So that's basically it. I caught you right up to 18 years like that.
Okay, cool. So you released, as you say, on June on this year, your 7th album, Rise, through the German label Massacre Records. Can you tell us more about it regarding to the lyrical theme, conception, recording process, etc.?
We could start with the recording process. One of the original members is Jim Harris. He's been with the band. He retired. He doesn't want to play anymore. He's the drummer. Basically, on these last 2 albums, I have my own studio. He has his own studio. I'd write a lot of the stuff, and Jim was helped me arrange and write lyrics, and basically back and forth, And then we had COVID and stuff like that, which actually accelerated the process a bit because we had more time, But basically, that's it. As far as and then we had Kane Churko, Kevin Churko, you might know.
Yeah.
His son mixed the first album, which is Faces Burn. And then the last album was mixed by Ray Marte. He's in a band called Moontooth.
Okay.
He's a drummer. And so basically I would do all the production, all the producing, and then send to him, and he would mix it and master it.
Okay.
And, with a little, we actually worked with one other gentleman from Germany, Stefan Liebig. He used to be in, Stefan? He was in Primal Fear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he mixed the elevator, which he did a brilliant job, but I felt the distance wasn't gelling, and he's great. So I went with someone that was local where I can put hands on. I went to the studio and tweak things and stuff. So when you're producing and you're doing your own music, you're hands on. So that, and then what else we got? Other question. That was the production. What else?
About the lyrical theme.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Basically, a lot of, it depends on what song. Jeremiah in particular was about a Ponzi scheme that I got involved in. I lost a lot of money. So Jeremiah is not a real character. He's just a fictitious character. But Fire is just about a tumultuous relationship that many people that I know just can't get out of their relationship. It's just an ongoing thing, But a lot of the themes, it depends on what song. But like I said, basically that. But Jeremiah sticks out in my brain so much because it was something to heart,
Yeah, so it's more personalised.
Right.
I think the themes, they're more personalised as opposed to making up fantasy stories or anything like you'd get with Dio or a band like that. I think it's more that way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He played on it.
Okay. What were, to everybody, your hopes and desires when you started making music?
I wanted to be like Ronnie James Dio, or all the classic guys like Judas Priest, Rob Halford, and Jeff Tate, and all that. That's where we come from. When you're a kid, when I first heard the Heaven and Hell album, I was like, what the heck? I was blown away. I'm like, holy shit, like, this is amazing, right? So basically, we all got the same dream, and, to make it come to reality, you just got to keep striving forward, right?
Yeah.
Basically, so, but I've been in the game for a while, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm still here, look at me. Now, what do you say, Wayne?
Well, do you want to pass it to Mickey first?
Hello. So, I think for a musician, we all kind of share the same, aspirations when making music. We all want it to be heard and stuff, but for me, it's not about, it's not about the lifestyle, I guess. A lot of people, I think, fantasize the rock star, lifestyle. For me, it's getting on that stage and performing. I look at some of my biggest heroes on guitar, like Eddie Van Halen, Paul Gilbert. Warren DeMartini. I have a T Martini tattoo on my arm. That should say it all. But so one thing I always loved about these guys was they would go on stage and they would give it their all. And I think for me, that is always something that's stuck. I've always believed. My dad has always said to me as a kid, whatever you do, give 110%, and that has applied to pretty much every aspect in my life, including music. So I guess that's one thing I'll just to wrap it up, making music and everything. I just want to give it 110%, and at the end of the day, that's all I can ask for. Steve.
Well, I got started, I saw Neil Peart on TV. My dad, Rush fan, started at 3, and I went in my room and got toy blocks, and I made his drum kit. And my dad was a drummer, and I took his drumsticks, and I made my own kit, and I started playing. And since then, that's what I wanted to do. That's all. This is my thing, and with the help of these guys, I'm getting my way into the scene, and I just love it. It's my thing.
Cool.
But the best thing about the whole thing is Mickey's 20, he's 17, and Mickey's dad is a guitar player and supports Mickey big time. He's got like 80 guitars in his house.
Yeah.
80, I'm not kidding. He's endorsed by Chauvel and String Company?
What's it? Elixir.
Alexa Strings. So, but it's great to have your parents,
Yeah.
supporting you. And his father's a good friend, great guy. And the same thing for Steven's dad, Nick. It's great to have the support, and it's amazing. But what these guys can do is just incredible. Wing, tell them about your story. Come on, get in here. will you?
Yeah, well, I've been playing bass for 40 years. 40 this year. 40. 40. 40.
I thought you were only 35.
I'm 54. But I've been doing this a long time, I started in the thrash metal band Sabbath. Do you remember them from the UK?
From UK?
Yeah, I played
I
played on their third album when I was 19.
Andy Sneap.
With Andy Sneap, yeah. I was speaking to Andy literally 2 days ago. We live near each other, so we've always kept in touch. I worked with Blaze Bailey. I did a few albums, and Andy produced them, so I've done a lot of things with them. I worked with Brazen Abbott, Jolyn Turner, did all that kind of thing. So, and then I was actually with Robin Gibb for 10 years. I was his bass player, which is not metal at all. But the good thing about being a bass player is it sounds the same in whatever band you put it in. It's still the bass. So, and I love all of it. So, and all that is, I love songwriting as well. I love songwriting as well, and it's the more influences the better, and that kind of songwriting can influence this. It's all pretty much the same construct. So that's me.
Okay, total respect for this career. So, not all of you, but two maybe of you, across 3 decades in the metal industries, Mike with the mother. What would be your advice to young starting bands, and what is your opinion on the evolution of the metal music industry?
First, I would tell the younger generation that don't do it. Stay away. No. It's a very difficult business, no matter what. It doesn't run like a business, any other business. My wife has a business. I'm in a different business. There's no rules in music. No rules. But it's a difficult thing. I mean, for young, obviously the industry has changed. Social media is everything. So basically, I mean, you're out to the free world with this right here. Look into that and you can go anywhere in the world. So it's a different thing from where I come from, where you come from. But, if you believe and you feel in your heart, you love music, do it for the love. Don't do it for the money. The money will come later, but you got to do it from the heart. It's the name of the game. That's what we do. What was the other question?
Just another one.
That's it?
Maybe you've got an opinion on that?
Yeah, well, for younger people, I mean, I got into it because I love music, so.
Crack that door 1 second, Mike. It's getting so stuffy.
Yeah, I think, kind of echoing what Mike said, you can't get it into this just because of the fame and the money and all that kind of thing. I think you've got to love playing music, and I definitely see that in you two. You're here because you love playing your instruments, as I do, and so that's the first thing. And then I've had some great experiences with music, and I've been able to travel all over the world, and it's you know it's a real hard thing, but it's not easy, and it's not a guaranteed income. But you do it because you love music, and that's it. You know, when we're here, we're not getting paid for this. We're just doing it. We're actually paying to do it. You know,
with your own. Especially when you're doing your own music as an original artist. There's so many, you know what the thing is, in New York and the States, there's so many tribute bands. You know, I get it, but it's really taken the industry by storm in a negative way. We got to it's just too much, man. It's too much. It's what we're doing here. We're you know, writing our own music. Everything's coming from the heart. I mean, like I said, I do get the tribute thing, but it's taken the industry over and it's hurting the industry. As far as the newer metal bands, there's a lot of good bands, but technology is really steered the way, mostly. You know, every band sounds good today because of technology. Nobody sounds like shit. You know, when we did Toxic Rain in '98, we did the album in 9 days, mixed it, recorded it, and blah, 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 and it was tough to get a good sound, you know? But with today's technology, it's available, it's easily available for everyone. And there's a lot of people that aren't even musicians that are putting out stuff. So the market's flooded, and it's really difficult for any artist. And, you know, you just got to, like I said, just do it for the love, you know? The love!
Okay, so looking back at your childhood, some are more older than others, no? But in which musical environment did you grow up, and does it affect in a way your choice of playing heavy music?
As far as my influence, yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, you know, Dio with Black Sabbath is a big influence. You know, all the bands in Judas Priest and all that. I mean, I've evolved as time went on when I'm playing different kind of music, but basically, yeah, that's where it comes from, yeah. How about you? Come on, man.
Steve.
Yeah, no, I think you grow up around it, you know what I mean? For me, I just grew up around music, listening to Van Halen, listening to bands like, Van Halen, Rat, Falling Reverse was a big one for me as a kid. I took lessons under Jackie Vincent for a long time, and he's a very close friend of mine. It's just being around it all the time. I mean, I didn't pick up a guitar till I was 12, 13, but I always had music around. I grew up a competitive ice hockey player, but no matter what I did, music was always involved. Even just listening to it, my fondest memories, I think everyone's fondest memories involve music. You know, it's really just the soundtrack of our lives.
Well, for me, my dad was a drummer, and I told you, you know, I started so young that it's always just been a part of what I'm doing. And, you know, you grow up like a normal kid, you do sports or whatever, but for me, I always had the music thing and then the sports, and then you go, you know what, screw that, I'm playing drums. And then you go to school and you think about college and all that, and screw that, I want to play the drums. And that's how I've grown up that way, and just this is what I want to do, and it's in my family. All my siblings are singers, guitar player, my dad's a drummer, my whole family, everyone's a musician. That's just how I grew up.
Okay. So, I mention one other thing. Yeah. Since the inception of Holy Mother, our original bass player, Randy Colvin, I'm not sure if you know Randy. Yeah. He's been the original guy since, you know, the only album he didn't play on was the last album and this album. But, you know, he was pretty, you know, a legend, the guy, you know. So, actually, Wayne used to buy his VHS tapes for lessons, right? Right? Tell him.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to your previous question. So I grew up, it was my mother playing music all the time. So the house was always shaking. And then my sister I got an older sister, she'd try and outdo my mother. So me and my brother used to stand in the middle of the stairs, middle of the house, and there's this mad cacophony going off all the door of us. So you get into it in that way, and it's in your blood. But yeah, with Randy, when I started playing, Randy bought out a teaching video, VHS. He bought out 2 albums as well. I got both of them.
Funk Me Tender.
Yeah, and Sammy Says Ouch. And he was one of my heroes. And then when I met Mike in 2002, Randy had played on some of the Agoraphobia album, but some of them weren't finished, so you got me to finish off the other tracks, and I was just blown away. I was like, I'm on the same album as Randy Coven, and then I got to speak to him on the phone, and it was like, that was a childhood hero of mine. So it's actually nice when we play some of the older songs like Toxic Rain, that I'm trying to recreate his bass lines as much as I can.
He's the only guy who You're the only guy who plays it proper.
That's because I was a Randy fan.
You're the proper fan.
Okay, so what is future for Holy Mother? I know you've got a show just after, in France, and after that?
So far, we got some local shows back in New York in October. November, we got another one. Then we got December before we leave, and we're on the Doro Pesh tour in December. And we actually toured with her in March. It was great. It was sold out every night. So and great people. We love the band. Love all the musicians. It was an honor to be on that, and everything about it. The hospitality was amazing. It was the best, really good. So that's what we're looking forward to. We got some stuff booked for next year, some festivals, but can't really mention them yet. But we got a lot of things. So we're always in the process of putting something out sometime late next year to keep the ball rolling. Be in the press, stay kind of relative, I guess. So anyway, yeah.
Very busy.
We need to be more busy.
More busy,
Yeah.
More, but it will come, it will come. Okay, so thank you very much. This was Holy Mother from New York City, USA, in France at the BARBEUK Metal Festival. Wish you a lot of good things for you, for your families, for your friends. Take care of you. Have fun here today. And if you can be there, go to see them at La Rochelle at the Crossroad, because Holy Mother gonna play tomorrow, with a French band that we love very much too, Steel Rangers. So, thank you very much. And as I say always at the end of the interview, don't forget to laugh every day. It's important to have fun and to laugh. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.